100 years after women were given the right to vote, they are exercising that right even more than men. This pattern cuts across all races and ethnicities, including Latinas. In fact, the Latina vote is the fastest growing segment of the Latinx electorate.
I think that for Latinas, there really has been an effort over the years to really engage Latinas into the political process. I would say everything from media to our community organizations. And, it wouldn't be a coincidence, the fact that in a lot of our organizations, you have Latinas at the forefront talking about the issues that are impacting us every single day.
Latinas are in fact very well represented in the efforts to mobilize voters, not just leading organizations and running for office, but also behind the scenes. We met two of them.
I'm the Senior Director of Empowerment at RISE. RISE is a national nonprofit that uses sports as a vehicle to promote social justice issues and better race relations. We believe that sports is the ultimate unifier, equalizer, if you will. And no matter who you are, you can sit at a bar, root for the Yankees or the Boston Red Sox, indifferent of your political views, your views on race, and spark a conversation.
La Boricua Yasmin Sanchez, on the other hand, has been an advocate for her community for years. Motivated by the poor living conditions in the public housing projects she grew up in.
We're leaders in our community by right, head of households, presidents of the resident association and the parent association. So these are things that are innate in us. And we have to mobilize around that and gain some traction around that. We already know this. We run for these positions because we see the injustices in our communities and how the government and the systems and the structures are treating our communities, ourselves, and we are fighting against that, right? And what better way than to mobilize voting blocks?
According to a CUNY study, in 2020, the Latina voter turnout was higher than that of Latino men in nearly every state with reliable estimates. That same year, Latino voting reached an all-time high with approximately 16.5 million Latinos voting.
Despite the dramatic improvements, Latino voting in general lagged behind other people of color, including African Americans and even Asian voters. In fact, in the election of 2020, the Latino voter turnout was the lowest among all groups.
The Latinas we spoke with still see hope.
In New York City, we have a majority of women on the New York City Council, with 31 women on the council, 10 of which are Latina. And most recently, we had 2 women run for lieutenant governor, which has never occurred in the history of New York State.
We believe that working with athletes and these specific stakeholders will actually reach more people, because who doesn't love sports? Who isn't a sports fan? So that puts them in a unique position to lead in these communities. So why not leverage that to get them the tools that they need in order to be successful and advocate for themselves?
Also, changing the landscape, right? Like, we're telling our personal stories. Why is this important to us? And before that didn't have a space on any platform. We need to be involved in every single aspect of policy and organizing because it affects us intimately. Every second of the day is political.
Experts hope that the voting trend among Latinos will continue to increase, especially since it is expected that Latinas will become the largest voting force by 2050. For Latinas, I am Marlene Peralta.